going on YouTube? Frankie here, bringing you a new video on how to log your journal entries properly today. So before we start, don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell notification. Super helpful to the channel, and we'd really support it. Today, you'll see me how I log my journal entries, how to log it in properly. The spreadsheet that you guys see on your screen right now, I'll include that in the description below, as well with the pre-registration sheet to get in the Discord chat. So besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This spreadsheet, it covers what you need to go over on each single trade that you took on the day. So we have the date right here, the quantity, so how many contracts or shares you got in, the ticker symbol or company, and then you have the P&L percent, profit loss percent, profit loss, gains or losses, and then the position size, so how big the position size was during this trade. And as well, you have this is pretty much where you're going to be journaling, is what you did right and what you could have done better during this trade, or what you did wrong, and then the reason for the trade. So the order I like to go in when journaling my entries is I like to put the date first, quantity, so how many contracts I got in with, the ticker symbol, and then with this particular part, you kind of have to go this particular you have to go in a specific order because the percent can be a little buggy sometimes. So what I do is I put my position sizing first, so how much I went in the trade with, and then the P&L I like to put that second just because it complements this afterwards, so how much I gained or lost on the trade, and then it'll automatically give you the percent. I don't recommend putting P&L first and then position sizing, just because that'll mess up the P&L percent. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, so I just like to go in that order. I found it to be the most consistent where it doesn't ever bug on me. And then I like to put the reason for the trade. So let's say we played Amazon 3600, just as a big example, just as an example, I would put that in here, and then I'd go over the why right here on what I did right or wrong. So lots of journaling is going in depth with yourself in the trade. So like, why did I get in this trade? How was the market sentiment? How was NASDAQ? How were the futures? Was there any announcements or any big news prior in pre-market before market open that could affect the trade you're going to go into? How were you feeling before and during this trade? Were you nervous? Were you calm? What was going on through your head? Did you have adrenaline going through you crazy, causing you to sell early? Was it the P&L that affected your psychology that made you get out early or sell too late? Everything about it is, did you follow the plan on it? And what could you have done better to gain more from this trade, or able to read it better for a scenario like this to come again in your trading career? So I'm going to go over how I would personally enter something. So I took 2 trades today. I'll show you guys in my entries right here. I just pulled it up on the window. You see I traded Amazon and Tesla today. Just the only 2 trades I took today. I traded Tesla, the 1000 break, and then I took the Amazon 3600 break after it tested it once and then came back to retest it again a second time, making the trade a lot safer, and then just getting in the first break since I was already up nicely on the day. So there's that. So only 2 trades, and you can see I already got one of my trades in here, which was the Tesla trade. So like I said, super easy. The hard part is really going over yourself on the trade and analyzing what things were you doing during this trade, and just analyzing your surroundings. So your surroundings being the market sentiment, what the stock was doing, all that good stuff. If there's any news catalysts, hopefully there aren't any that affect the trade that you're in. But yeah, you saw here I got in this Tesla trade with 5 contracts. Ticker Tesla, obviously we traded Tesla this morning. And then I got in this trade in particular with $17,750 position, and those were 5 contracts right there. Just because those Tesla contracts, IV was pretty high. I think it was around 90% actually, and then as well as being really super close to in the money. Since we were playing the 1000 break, I played the 1000 puts, just because those were the safest contracts to play at the moment, and just because they had the most liquidity due to open interest being so high on them. So I ended up playing those. And then here's my profit. I made $1,700 on the trade. I'm just gonna round that up, $30 away. So made $1,700 on the trade, and you see here calculated my P&L percent on this trade by itself, and that I made 9.4% on the trade, which is pretty good. I usually try to aim for 10% on big trades like this, 10% or more. And with something like Tesla, with how crazy contracts can be, for me personally, that's a really good percent. I've always been bad about trading Tesla, and then ever since I started journaling and seeing what I could be doing better, that percent has been going up. So you see here, reason for the trade. You saw that I put the 1050 pre-market low. That's the low it made during pre-market, and then play that into the 1000 break. Something I like to do as well that you're always happy to do, I like to go back to the trade of what was going on. NQ's over here, you can't really see it, but here it is. You can see that this is the first minute candle at market open, so 9:30 Eastern time, and then you have Tesla here. So it's always good to go back and look at the chart and see what happened during this trade as well. Nothing wrong with that. Something I do recommend is recording your trades if you can. If your computer, if your desktop or laptop can support it, I highly recommend it, just because you can kind of see yourself, especially if you turn on the webcam. You could really see yourself live and seeing if you're doing any like funny things like biting your nails, chewing your finger, sucking your finger, whatever the case may be. All these small little things, it's cool to look at and see if it affects you or whatnot. So really recommend recording your trades, just because, like I said, you can really gauge a lot from it, and seeing your entry, seeing if it was good, was it bad, were you a few seconds off, were you a second off. Trading option contracts, it really comes down to like the very nitty gritty things. So to get that really good entry to flip those premiums. But I already threw my entry in here, so I'll go over it with you guys on what I did during this trade. All right, so for this journal entry, I said everything I could have done in this trade was the best execution I could give. Followed my plan to enter on a pre-market low near 1000 and play it into the wall that formed there this morning during pre-market. Was calm the entire time, was reading NQ, which is NASDAQ futures. I was reading NQ and seeing if it had any sort of effect on Tesla during this trade. Now, I will pause here real quick. The only thing that's like kind of edgy about this is you can't really tell if a stock is following NQ off the first minute or two candles of market open, just because it's just not enough time to give the stock it doesn't give the stock enough time to kind of gauge if it's doing its own thing without NQ, and Tesla has been known to do that, and so has Amazon. A lot of stocks have done that, so it's always hard to tell at least the first 5 minutes if it's following NQ or not. So just wanted to throw that out there. NQ did start falling, with Tesla falling behind it, which is better just because it complements the trade. And that's the key word right there, is that it complements the trade, making the trade a lot easier and a lot more probable for it. So my target was to hold to 995 or 994 for a 6-point drop. I talked to Nor this morning. I called him just to make sure he was awake, just because there was a one-time issue that he wasn't. So he told us in case we don't hear from him until by 9:20, just to give him a call real quick to see if he is awake. So I gave him a call, and then he talked to me about what my plan was with Tesla. I told him I was just looking for a 6-point drop. Reason was I didn't want to overreach this trade and have the potential of Tesla bouncing or NQ bouncing with Tesla being close with it. As you could see, that's what I was reading during the time. You could see NQ falling here. It wicked heavy. You could see it did affect NQ a bit, and then once NQ finally did start to break, that's when you did see Tesla falling as well. And then with the third candle, you really saw it with Tesla, and then slowly after, you saw it come back. This is usually by this time you can kind of assume that Tesla's going to move the NQ. Maybe not for the day, but at least for the moment, it is. So, what I could have done better. So this is the important part. It's always nice to, even if you were green on a trade, like massively green, there can always be a few things that you could tweak better to improve your trading. So what I could have done better was read how Tesla reacted when it broke the 995 wall and see selling pressure come in, even though that was generally my target to begin with. So what I'm talking about here is, even though 995 was my target, and my plan to hold to that, they did form a wall there, and I could have probably gauged this trade better by by seeing if once they broke that 995 wall, if the ask, so we're looking at the ask has to follow the bid. So sellers have to push the buyers out, being the bid side. We want to see the ask side keep pushing the bid down, and that's what I didn't do. As soon as I saw the 995 wall break, I just got out since that was my target, and I just didn't want any more to do with that trade. So for this in particular, what I could have done better was read how Tesla reacted when it broke the 995 wall and see selling pressure come in, even though that was generally my target to begin with. And then I put read price action better and could always adjust if I need to during a trade to possibly squeeze a bit more out on it, or get out if I see a red flag like the bid or ask showing weakness of slowing down with no real big orders coming in supporting it anymore. So seeing those big sizes on times and sales start slowing down, you don't see really big orders anymore, and then you actually start seeing the tape slow down with big orders, and that goes as well as level 2. You can really spot it with level 2 where you'll start seeing, so on this particular scenario, we're watching the ask wanting to meet the bid, so you want the sellers to meet the buyers and just keep pushing them more downwards. There wasn't really ever a point, honestly, on the sellers being weak here. But it was more of me following my own plan, which is really important with your journals as well, is knowing if you followed your plan to the max of what you wanted to personally take out of the trade, or if you got out early because of something else. Like, let's say you saw how green you were, and then that made you want to get out early, or even being red and you not following your plan, and if you were to follow your plan, you would have came out green, stuff like that. So I don't really have anything else to add on top of that. That's how I generally journal. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys are more than happy to leave any questions down in the description below. And then the manager of the YouTube channel will be more than happy to answer those questions for you guys. So, or you could even DM the Stock Hours page on Instagram. It's just at Stock Hours. The link's going to be in the description as well. And then DM that page and ask any questions, and the manager will be more than happy to help. So, but other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this short video on how to journal properly and how to log in your entries. Like I said, we're going to include this spreadsheet in the description. Literally, all you do is download the Excel sheet, plop it on your desktop, and then open it through Google Excel Sheets, and then just upload the blank folder on there. So super easy, and then it just uploads blank. So other than that, yep, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell notification for the next video to come out. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.